All right, how's everyone doing? I'm your host, Get Good Fox, and this is Lightning Rounds. Today, we are going to play each game for an hour each, and right now it's State of Decay 2's turn, so expect a 1 hour stream. The reason we are deviating from the standard streaming time is because the internet got a little bit out of whack, and because we lost a lot of time, I was like, I still want to get one of each game up, so Lightning Rounds it is. Honestly, I do find the Lightning Rounds rather enjoyable, so I might stream an extra day of just Lightning Rounds. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, let me get some notifications going. Also, because it is a Lightning Round, there will not be a pre-stream. No pre-stream for Lightning Rounds. What is it, kitty? I said Lightning Rounds, not kitty rounds. Whoops. There we go. Alrighty. Invitations are rather notifications are away. Anyways, Ford Ranger is first. Congratulations, and thank you for joining all the streams. Non-Toxic, welcome back to the show. Anyways, like I said, we are going to be getting started. There is no pre-stream for a Lightning Round, so we are just going to get right in there. And like I said, I might add another stream day that is just Lightning Rounds, because the more I've done these the Lightning Rounds are just kind of a an adaptation to something going wrong, but at the same time, I kind of enjoy them. I kind of like just hitting an hour of each game. So I might actually do more streams. I might add an additional stream, because 4 hours of streaming isn't that bad. It's not that time consuming. Okay, so Zeb wants to relocate our base. I don't want to do that. I don't care if Zeb wants to do that. All right, I can't remember. The first thing we need to do is check to see. Yeah, we have buttons to push. We always need to push some buttons. That's always objective number one. Let's consider smelting these weapon remains. Nothing else to push there. I can't remember if this guy's going to get tired or not, so let's just go ahead and drop this stuff. Use the shotgun. All right. Does anyone need to go into here? Nope. Okay, no one's infected. Awesome. It doesn't matter who we play anymore. Oh, wait. Who are we? We're Eric? I kind of want to play as Eric because we need to get his cardio leveled up, but let's play as Zeb. Zeb helps us save fuel. Ring-a-ding, welcome back to the show, as well as Fine Ink. How's it going, everybody? What do I want to do? Light crossbow. Put on some supplies. And let's go like that. TSG, welcome back to the show. And what am I going to do? I kind of want to loot this area.
Do you folks mind helping
Oh,
us out?
look at that. We kept the portable generator, and we're going to have it.
Thanks.
These are friendly. Okay, we're going to have a wager. Get ready. What are the name of these guys? The Doorbusters. Okay, here it comes. Doorbusters. Enclave bonus. It'll be good versus it'll be bad. I'm going to give you guys 10 minutes to place your channel point wagers. Remember, channel points are not real money. No real money gambling here. It's all just fake Monopoly money. Ford Ranger gives a T1 to TSG. Well, that was very generous of you. Congratulations on getting a T1, TSG, and thank you, Ford, for the gift sub. This is why it always pays to hang on to these. Let's do it. Actually, let me check my car supplies. Yeah, it's fine. Heath Haim. Oh, I know who Team 2 is. Team 2 is the team that is going to be betting on me being that it's going to be a bad one. The last one was decent, and it seems like we get one decent one for every 3 or 4 bad ones. That's been kind of the rate. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's bad. Wouldn't be surprised. We'll see. We will most certainly see. Enclave bonuses are very important, though, so if they are bad, well, that kind of blows. We should probably also think about trimming some of these enclaves. I don't really want to destroy any plague guards and move into a new base until we get a powerhouse. That's one of my goals at the moment. It hasn't been my day, that's true. I think Deep Rock Galactic with 4 players has messed... I think it messes things up on the internet, and that's why it screws things up. I think that's the answer.
Hey, hon. You're welcome to come in.
Okay, let's go get him the portable generator. Okay, so what we're gonna do is... no more betting. Oh, wow. You guys are utterly convinced it's going to be bad. 7% think it'll be good, and 93% think it'll be bad. Well, thank you for the vote of confidence, you guys. Let's see. In 3, 2, 1.
I'm glad you could help.
Roadside assistance. Oh, my God.
Remember,
so sad,
stay
number
safe.
2. We just got one of the best ones in the entire game. Roadside assistance. Bam. Congratulations, Team 1. And let's just call that roadside assistance in right now.
Someone send over a supply drop. Fast.
Okay. Payback time.
Oh, very happy to get roadside assistance. Like I said, this is a fantastic one. Especially because we're not really ready to... what do you call it? Oh, it's so good. Oh my God. 2 repair kits and 2 fuel for 150 influence. That is so good. It's about time we got lucky. I'm tired of getting, like, owned. I'm tired of always getting bad stuff. Well, the channel points are not useless if you watch some of the other streams, because you can spend them in some of the other streams, like in 7 Days to Die. In fact, if you have 5,000 points... actually, no, 5,000 points is not enough for a gamma redemption. Gamma redemption requires 15,000 points.
Not bad, but not great either.
I'm probably going to add some in for some of the other games as well. I got to think of what to do with them, though, because each redemption is a custom thing that I do myself.
Hey, this is neat.
Oh, we got some building materials. I'll take it. That's what Ford is referencing as well, like more vulture money. That's what he's talking about. Using his redemptions to get vultures like a really bad, no-good person. I don't think you double your points. I think the points you win is related to the people who lose. I think it's kind of like a pot.
Hey,
I think there's a pot, basically. I think that's the way it works.
Yeah, sure.
And then the winners get divvied up on the pot. Okay, that's fine.
Gotta be a plague heart around here somewhere.
Let's see if we can get more people to come in.
How are you?
Well, it looks like we can still get more people. That's good news. Where are they going to spawn, though, is the question. Oh, just over there. PJ says he bet 50 and won 847. Yeah, the amount you get is based on, basically, if it's an upset where basically a large amount of people lose, then the point pool gets, like, distributed. Yeah, and then the more points you wager, the bigger, basically, when you win, the more points you wager, the bigger the share you'll get. Let's keep melting these down. What you got for sale? Food. I don't think we need food. I think we're fine on food. Don't need it. Okay, what we do need to do is, our cargo is just getting owned right now. One thing I'd really like is if we could get the Mechanics Enclave. The Mechanics Enclave, if we level them up, we would gain the ability to...
I restocked for you. You're welcome.
Wow, a painkiller, a snack, and 2 road flares. Amazing. Food rucksack should have a bacon icon. Yeah, I mean, like, pizza is like... I mean, I love pizza, don't get me wrong. But if I think of a food icon, I typically don't think of pizza. When I think of a food icon... What do you think, chat? If you had to come up with an icon to represent just food in general, what would you use? The one I would use, like, a chicken drumstick or like an apple. Roasted chicken is in like a whole roasted chicken, like just like laying on a plate. Bacon or steak. Fork and knife. Oh, hey, yeah, fork and knife. That one's not even food, but yeah, it's associated with food. Chicken drumstick. Yeah, I'm a fan of the chicken drumstick as a symbol for food. Stellaris uses an apple. Bacon. Yeah, I think bacon would work. I think people could, especially use 2 colors. I think a steak would work, especially like with a ribeye in it. Refuel? Arctic Ranger says that he was able to get the Sheriff's Legacy done. That is one of the harder ones done, so if you can get that one done, you beat the hardest one. I would say the Sheriff's Legacy is the most challenging of them all. So it sounds like you're going to be able to get them all unlocked, because like I said, the other ones aren't nearly as difficult. Oh, we got an infestation over here. Ring-a-ding says that he is hungry now. Oh, but all this talk about food icons. Let me see. Do I have any infestation clearing gear? Not really. I'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. Let's go recruit somebody as well. I want, like, a minion. I'm gonna take one of them, the Vestiges. We have so many allied enclaves. We just need more quests to keep getting them. And you know, maybe this episode we should start knocking some of them out. Could be a good idea. Lord Gummy says, the 3rd stream he's caught today. Well, thank you for supporting so much of the content, good sir. speaking of rucksacks, here is a bit for the bit sack. That is 500 bits. Oh, God. Thank you so much, Tech Viper. That's 500 bits right there. Thank you for the generous tip. Over. Also, oh, Tech Viper, I found out what was lagging the streams, ultimately. Like why the, why we had to use a video to kind of delag the stream initially. Like, I finally figured out what was wrong, and I was eventually able to fix it. Also, it's why the streams are way sharper and way more crisp. It turned out that I just needed more bandwidth.
Hey,
I needed to bump my internet up a level.
You interested in trading?
And then I also went from streaming in 1K to 720, which that's gonna change as well pretty soon. Now that I upgraded my internet.
How are you?
Once my new CPU comes in, I got a new processor coming in.
See you alive.
Once my processor comes in, I'm gonna be bumping it back up. But unfortunately, the processor doesn't fit my current motherboard, so I had to buy a motherboard as well. So I'm waiting for the motherboard to come in, and then I will be able to rebuild the computer with a brand new processor.
Okay. This is Twain, broadcasting live from my new improved location. I'm only here thanks to the hard work and sacrifices made by others in the network. Your efforts are critical, my friends. Keep the faith.
Yeah, I learned a lot about streaming settings, like, because a lot of my streams were really grainy, and I'm like, why are they so ugly looking? Like, why don't my streams look good? And then eventually I figured out what the problem was. You know what? The infestation is probably out in the open. Yeah, look at that. I can actually just run this infestation over. Because they're out in the open. Nice and simple. Love to see it. Yeah, what was wrong was, there was a few problems that are simultaneously wrong. One of them was my bandwidth needed to be upgraded, and then my bandwidth upgrade didn't matter because my modem wasn't good enough. Basically, like, I upgraded the bandwidth, but my modem was like, it can't handle the amount of data to begin with. That was its limit. So then I had to upgrade my modem, so then my new modem can handle the internet upgrade. Then the issue was I had to change my settings to permit higher uploads because open broadcast software has a cap that you can choose, and the cap on the upload rate was too low, so it wasn't able to, like, it was really choppy. Then the problem was
There's just no securing a place this close.
The settings were done in a way where I had the upload rate, so I could have better quality, but I was capping my processor use, where I was like, you can only use this amount of processing, and because the processing was capped, the processing was too low to make the images look good. So then I had to increase the processing to, you know, tell it, like, it's okay, you know, you can put more processing into it. But then the processor couldn't handle it because my processor is, you know, finally showing its age. But then I got an NVIDIA RTX 480, and the 480 is actually able to process streams for you, so you can take some of the load off of your processor. Basically, when you stream, there's two encoding settings. The first one is X264. X264, I don't know what it stands for. I just know that what X264 means is the processor, the CPU, does the work. Then you have a setting called NVEC. NVEC stands for NVIDIA Encoding. And what that setting does is it tells the GPU to do the work rather than the processor. So I'm able to let the GPU take on some of the work of the weaker CPU. And then I was able to crank up the settings, and then finally, it made the streams look good. But then, I had to reduce the graphics. And that's because now the 4080 was being asked to do too much. It was being asked to run the game at a high setting, and handle the video rendering, and do it at a high levels of graphics. So I'm like, oh, okay,
Well,
now the 4080 is starting to feel a bit overwhelmed. So I had to reduce the graphics, and I tuned it for each game so that it would be basically 60 to like 80% of the GPU was being used. And then finally I was able to nail it all down. But now,
The air tastes like
now
blood.
I've got a new CPU coming
Playing
in.
zombies.
I've got the top of the line Core i9 processor coming in. The i9, like I think it's like the 13,000, the 13K 900, whatever it's called. Like I've got their best processor coming in. And once the new processor comes in, unfortunately it doesn't fit my motherboard. Like it's too big. So I had to get a new motherboard. And then I heard that it's rather power hungry, so I bought a new power supply as well. I'm also told that the CPU gets a little hot, and so like it's probably going to be a little hot from my current cooler, but I'm also told that the CPU will not go hotter than is safe, meaning if it gets too hot, it just won't reach its 100% capability. So I'll also be getting a new cooler in order to allow the processor to reach its full potential. And that is the story of what's going on. Well, yeah, that's because, like, I mean, 720 is just the size of the image. Like, 720p is just the... It's just the size of the image you're looking at. So, like, it can look very, very sharp. It's just smaller. Like, it's a smaller image. And where it would lose its clarity is when it has to be stretched out to fit a bigger size. Like, if you have to stretch 720p to a 1K monitor, then yeah, it's not going to look as good because you're stretching it and it gets some aliasing automatically. And so basically, like, there's nothing wrong with 720p. It's just that 720p was meant for a smaller screen. Oh, we're capped on materials. Interesting. Is there something I want to upgrade? You. Let's just upgrade something. It doesn't really matter what. So let's go right over here. I really want to loot that area, but it hasn't been it just hasn't really been doable. But basically, once the new processor comes in, I'm going to switch off of NVEC, and I'm going to go back to X264. But since I'll have the nasty i9 Core 13K, I'll be able to just crank it up as high as the CPU will allow me. And that means the 4080 no longer will have to do the job of the processor. And since it doesn't have to do the job of the processor, it won't have to... I'll be able to crank the graphics up is what it means. I mean, it won't matter for State of Decay. I'm already running State of Decay at its highest settings. Let me see. I think the only thing I don't have is the shadow quality because there's glitches. But other than that, it's like... Basically, the upgrades aren't for State of Decay, I'll put it that way. The upgrades are for the other games I'm playing, like Deep Rock Galactic. I can't play at its full graphics setting without having some problems on stream. MechWarrior 5 has a lot of problems. And so I'm playing, like, I can't do ray tracing. I can't stream with ray tracing, basically. Yes, that's the one I got. The 13K 900, I don't know. They don't have good memetic names. Like, the NVIDIA the NVIDIA GPUs have much better memetic names. Here we go. I am not gonna crossfire them. Like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, I have spending money, don't get me wrong. Like, I have made money through being a content creator, but I'm not gonna buy, like, 2 RTX 40 series. I mean, my thing is, like, a lot of the games I play are... They have a lot of AI, and AI eats... The CPU gets absolutely devoured by AI. Really? Oh, went into her neck. Yeah, that's the video card I was previously using. I was using the 1080 Ti, that exact one. The problem is, like, once I start streaming, that was the problem. It's like I could run games. I couldn't run MechWarrior at maximum settings with the I couldn't run MechWarrior 5 on 4K. But with the 1080 Ti, but I could play most games, but once I started streaming, that was the problem. Looks like it's a little quieter here than I was expecting.
Is that a floater?
I think I saved him. I don't think he got bit there.
Zombie incoming.
Okay, I thought it was peaceful, but now this guy just decided to scream. We'll see how many people arrive.
I'm running real short of patience with some people. Look, maybe pull you off the handle.
No, we're probably gonna have to get out of here. Nah, maybe not. I had thought about that myself, Brian, but, I don't know. I was just kind of like, I don't know. You have to put them on, like, a local area network or something. I'm like, I just don't want to do all of that. I'm just like, I don't want to do all that. I don't know if you've heard the news, Brian, but I believe when the next update comes out for State of Decay, I think I'm officially done with the game. Like, I believe, like, I've already discontinued support for State of Decay on my main channel, but I believe when the new update comes out, this might not be my final playthrough, but this could be the final playthrough. With the exception of possibly, like, maybe revisiting it from time to time.
I can't carry that much.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I wanted to say, Brian, you were right. Like, we had that, I don't know if you remember that conversation we had 2 years ago, where we were talking about how it doesn't look like State of Decay is going in a great direction. There's a lot of interest, it's just sliding off. You know, there's a lot of lack of interest. The updates are not energizing people. And you told me that, like, you were really, really down about it. Like, you weren't happy about it. This is back when you had the trucking thing. And, you were, like, throwing everything you had at trying to get through State of Decay, but you told me that at the time you just couldn't get anyone to watch anything else. And I'm like, yeah, I know how that feels. And you basically were like, you just have to do it. Like, you've got to escape State of Decay. It's basically like a black hole. It's like trapping you into it, and it's basically crushing you. It's like killing you, being trapped on it. And you were right. You were right. I was afraid to try the same thing. I was afraid of losing what I had because, you know, at the time I was the biggest State of Decay content creator. I'm like, I don't want to lose what I built, but you were right. And so now I am where you were 2 years ago.
That is one nasty looking pharaoh.
And I remember what you told me. Like, you told me, like, you were almost at you were reaching your limit as a content creator, and I was a little surprised when I heard it. I was like, but now, like, you know, like, I get those same feelings myself, where I'm kind of like, some days I wake up and I'm just like, I cannot get anyone to watch anything else, and it's like, it's very, very trying, but I always remember that, like, I'm not alone. Like, other people had the same problem. Other people are trying to escape the game that they grew on.
I'm already sweating.
And it is an existential thing, though. Like, that's what I realized. I said, Brian got through it because he treated it like an existential issue. It's either, I either escape State of Decay or I can't be a content creator, professionally at least. And I said, if that's the way Brian looked at it, that's the way I have to look at it. So I was like, it's a matter of time, though. I just didn't have the time to make other content, and I said, well, there's only one way to do it. I have to cut the content with State of Decay. So I finally just did it. I said, no more, I'm not doing any more State of Decay content on the primary channel. Maybe I'll post a YouTube short here and there, but it's time to move somewhere else. Yes, some people will be upset about it, but the channel will die if I stay on State of Decay. The truth is that State of Decay, it's just not, it's an okay game. It's okay, but it's not a game that, like, a content creator can survive on. And a lot of it is Undead Labs' fault. I'll be the first to say it. I've always said that I like State of Decay, but I don't like Undead Labs. That hasn't changed. And this update, this beta update, just absolutely reopened that wound with me. Because for a while, I had just kind of learned to ignore it. Like, oh, Undead Labs makes dumb decisions, but I just learned to ignore it. And, but the latest update just reopened those wounds with me. And so now I'm like, okay, you know what? I will probably take a 50% pay cut, dropping State of Decay. But I just can't go on any longer being a State of Decay channel. Like, I am willing to accept the 50% pay cut. If I gotta get another job, if I gotta do it, then I have to do it. Like, it's not an option. That's what it hit me. It's non-negotiable. But yeah, while you were here, Brian, I just wanted to say you were right about it, like those 2 years ago. And the only thing I regret is that I did not have your courage, Brian, to make that jump. I was too afraid to make the change, even though you were right. And 2 years ago, I should have done the same thing. Okay, so that was just a little quick, easy thing to snipe. I would like to find an easier place to loot, but it's just not happening. Well, I am very at peace with the idea that once I let go of State of Decay 2, I won't have to care anymore. I won't have to care what they do with the game. Like, I am very much at peace with that. Like, that's something I'm actually looking forward to that. I am looking forward to not caring about Undead Labs' mismanagement with State of Decay. I always wondered, should I have gotten closer to Undead Labs? Should I have appeared on their streams? Should I have collaborated with them more? But in hindsight, I am very happy knowing I never did. I'm happy I didn't do it, because I think Undead Labs is trash. Like, just to be full disclosure, I think Undead Labs is trash. And now that I am reducing my content on State of Decay, I don't feel afraid to say that anymore. I used to be afraid to attack Undead Labs and bash them and the game, But, you know, now that I am moving away from it, it's very liberating to be able to say what I actually think. Never mind, got a feral chasing me. Am I gonna play State of Decay 3? Most likely. Will I make extensive content for it? We'll see how good it is. I doubt it, because I think Undead Labs is garbage. I think they're bad developers. I think they are unskilled. I think they make shoddy junk craftsmanship. And as a result, I expect State of Decay 3 to be bad. Like, so basically, like, I will play State of Decay 3.
Make a big deal out of it.
But will I make, like, a lot of content on it? No. Like, I think there are much better games out there. And like I said, now I'm not afraid to say it. Like, I'm not afraid to say that Deep Rock Galactic is many times better than State of Decay. Mech Warrior is way better than State of Decay. Like, I would normally not want to say those things because I wouldn't want to anger people. But like I said, like, this is possibly the final playthrough. Until the update comes out, at least. And now it's like, I can just say what I think. Like, I think State of Decay is just an okay game. I don't think it's a bad game. I think it's an okay game. But I think State of Decay is completely hamstrung by the low skill level and inept capabilities of Undead Labs. Yeah, absolutely. That is exactly right, Brian. Like, what Brian said there is exactly it. Basically, your channel does good if the devs make good choices. Your channel does bad if the devs make bad choices. And what it means is that it's not really your channel anymore. It's kind of like their channel. And I was like, this, I can't allow this. Like, I simply, this has got to end. I think State of Decay 1 is better than State of Decay 2, I do. I think there are improvements in State of Decay 2, don't get me wrong. For example, I think the economy is a massive improvement in State of Decay 2. But overall, I think they made... I think State of Decay 2 is overall a technically worse game, despite the, you know, improvements like graphical improvements and stuff like that. Yeah, I looked at a lot of other content creators too, like Edgy Rick. Edgy Rick is a YouTuber who, he left the game that made him big. The game that made him big was Don't Starve, and I was like, I was watching him like, how did you do it, Rick? How did you leave behind everything you built? And the answer was that what he said and what he said made a lot of sense. He was like, look, what makes you big is your understanding of how to make videos, your understanding of how to make content. It may take effort to kind of rebuild, but the skills you learn are marketable skills. Like, they are skills that transfer over. And if you can do it once, you can do it twice. And like, yes, you might take a pay cut, but that's what you gotta do. Now, when I move away from State of Decay, that does not mean that zombie games are going to go away. I don't want to abandon people. I know that some people are mainly here for zombie-based content, so I will continue zombie survival content on the channel. So what I just demonstrated there is like, it's like one of my modern day tactics, the idea that, do you even need to fight enemies in State of Decay when you can just honk your horn and lure them away? It's crazy what 5 years of State of Decay will do to you as like a high level player. I am not planning to go back to the beta. The beta was such an insult that, like, I have, like, unless they do something really crazy, I am not going back to the beta. I'm not planning coming back to State of Decay. That's what, like, once the beta change goes live, I am planning to move on from State of Decay altogether, because what they are doing to the game is absolutely stupid. And I don't like to be the guy that says, hey, I'm right, you know, look at me. But it's true. In this case, it's true. In this case, all of my criticism of Undead Labs was true.
I know someone who could use this.
Do I think that Microsoft has some hidden agenda for State of Decay? No, I think Microsoft just stinks. I think they just don't know what I think Microsoft is full of a bunch of pencil pushers who don't play video games, and therefore they don't know what a good video game is. They only have, like, data analytics. They're like, based on our, you know, metrics and data analytics, this is theoretically what people want to play. I think that's the issue. We don't know all of the changes. They've kind of said that they're going to make some adjustments to it.
There's nothing left to salvage here.
It's like... It should be easier for people on lower difficulties, is all we know. Like, it won't be as severe. Basically, the feedback is they're like, nobody likes it, so we're going to scale it back based on difficulty.
Oh, hey. What do you say to a bit of bartering? Okay.
I kind of want this, actually. I love how a little bit of stubbornness eventually allows me to loot a particular location. Like, I think it's a really bad thing that that Microsoft is buying up all these companies like Bethesda and whatnot, because now they're all going to be under this one umbrella of a company that, like, you know, like, you've got, like, 343. Like, 343 completely mismanaging Halo, but that's also Microsoft's fault. Like, Microsoft is the one that funds them.
Oh, crap.
Do I think they're making random changes to test State of Decay 3 features? If they are, that is really stupid. Why would you ruin the game basically, why would you make experimental changes that people wind up not liking in order to test the ideas for State of Decay 3? Like, why would you ruin the game in order to test ideas for the next game? So to answer your question, I don't know. If that's what they're doing, that is profoundly stupid.
That's a lot of stuff.
It's like, why would you do that? Another thing I have to say about that is, if it's true that Undead Labs is just testing ideas, then it means that they themselves don't know what the players want, because they're coming up with an idea that nobody
There's nothing
wants.
left to salvage here.
And if that's the idea that they think is the right direction for the game, then like I said, it means they don't know what they're doing. And the thing is, like, they have had good updates in the past. Like, they have had, okay, it's very, okay, this is, okay, you wanna know what's frustrating? I'll tell you what's frustrating. It's not a mystery what people want for State of Decay. It's not a mystery what State of Decay needs. What, okay. Here's a random question.
Toes while I'm in plague territory.
Some of you guys have seen me play MechWarrior 5. And now many of you have never played it yourself. Having never played a game like MechWarrior 5, and if I told you to guess on MechWarrior 5, what kind of DLC do you think people would want in a game like MechWarrior 5? Can any of you just take a guess at what people would want in a DLC for MechWarrior 5? Just take a guess. There's one guess. Take a stab at it. What do you guys think people would want in a game like MechWarrior 5? Exactly. There we go. More mechs, more weapons, more missions. So even though many of you have never played that game before, many of you have never played that game in your life,
defenses are as good as
and
they
yet
can get.
you can guess what people want.
Test them soon.
You can guess what people want. It's not complicated. What do people want? They want more robots, and they want more guns to blow other robots up with. They want new missions that involve blowing up robots in different ways. That's what they want. So, by the same logic, like, what should they add in State of Decay? Well, they need to add the core fundamentally important things to the game. New zombies, new facilities, new mods, new fifth skills with new upgrades. Those are the things that the game needs. They need to add in new mechanics like body armor. What if you could collect body armor in this game? They need to expand upon shallow ideas like vehicle upgrades. What if you could upgrade your vehicles, like customize them with mod slots and stuff like that? Like, those are the things that people would want in this game. And like I said, it's not a mystery. It's not like, well, gosh, I wonder what people want. It's really obvious. It's obvious what people want, and that's why 7 Days to Die is doing so well. That's why 7 Days to Die is growing well, because what does 7 Days to Die add? They add in new types of zombies. They add in brand new types of weapons, like not like here is another handgun. They add in whole new classifications of weapons. They add in new biomes with different rules in them. And then they rework the different mechanics of the game as well to like deepen them. And what does Undead Labs do? They add cosmetics. They add cosmetics. Okay, I guess he went to. Now, people don't remember this. This was permanently burned into my mind. I will never forget this. I don't think I will ever forget this. About 9 months in, after State of Decay released, I watched one of their streams, and they were talking about the future of State of Decay 2, and they talked about how they wanted it to be like a live service game, and their guy, it wasn't Jeffrey, it was one of their other guys, he said, we want to go into low friction ideas. That was his words, low friction ideas. I'm like, I'm not stupid. We're not dumb. Low friction means easy, low effort. That's what you mean by low friction. You want to do low effort updates. I'll never forget that. And what I told them, this is what I told Undead Labs, I said, right now the game is very buggy. To the point that it was unplayable at launch. Like, maybe one step off of unplayable. This is not a time for low friction ideas. This is a time to roll up your sleeves and get it done. That's what I told Undead Labs. And I told them that the bounty broker was a bad idea because people don't care that much about cosmetics. Like, State of Decay is not a game about cosmetics. What people want are facilities and mods. They want to be able to play the game in a new way. Which is what the Z Hunter update to this day is their best update. It added in crossbows, a totally new weapon that plays totally different, and it uses materials as a resource instead of ammo. A totally new way to play the game. It has, and look at this, I'm using a crossbow, even though it's an old weapon now, on the highest difficulty, because that's how much it transformed the game. That's how much of a difference it made. They added in the Z Hunter biochems in the Z Hunter update. That would be scent block, absolute game changer. Bloater gas grenades, complete game changer. The zombie, complete game changer. Total game changer. That's what the game needed. Like, the game needs a bunch of Z Hunter style updates. And I told them that. I told them that, you know, the bounty broker is a dumb idea, but I didn't know what I was talking about, apparently. I told them that the new maps are not a good idea, because the new maps, people will get bored of them faster than you can make them. It takes about 7 to 8 months for Undead Labs to make a new map.
Hey, I'm looking to do
and
some
people
trading.
will get bored of it in 1 to 2 months. That's what I told them. And you know what? It's true. People get bored of the new maps in 1 to 2 months. So what they did was they created a character that is a nod to me in the game. If you cycle enough characters, you will eventually find a character named Mad Mr. Fox. If the character is female, the character will be known as Mad Mrs. Fox. That character is an homage to me because I was constantly criticizing them. Well, you know what the name of that character should be? It should be called Right Mr. Fox or Right Mrs. Fox because I'm right. Now, it made people mad when I criticized the game, so I stopped. I didn't want to make people mad. That wasn't my goal. I didn't want to, you know, like, as a content creator, it's not my goal to generate negative feelings. It's my goal to create positive feelings. So I stopped criticizing the game because I was like, it's making people mad. I don't want to have negativity everywhere. And so I stopped. And I just was like, you know what? I'm just going to shut up and ignore it. And I'll just, whatever, I'll just play the game because that's what people want me to do. And I did that for about 3 years until the present time. And finally, this update has just reopened all of those old wounds that I've experienced, and then I have snapped out of it. I remember all of my frustration with the game, not because I hate the game, not because I did not like Undead Labs. Like I found them to be a little bit misguided at the time. I didn't dislike Undead Labs, but I found them to be misguided. That changed over time into just kind of like anger, where I'm just like, I just don't like them. Like, these guys don't know what they're doing, and I'm tired of seeing them smug on their unprepared streams that take an hour to say something that should only take 10 to 15 minutes to say. And I'm tired of just seeing them like act like, watch us add this crap into the game that nobody likes. Isn't this great? Let's all be excited about it. I remember the stream where they're like, let's play the fantastic Daybreak mode. Oh, you mean the game mode that is so popular that you can not even sometimes, many times, you can try to find a match, and you won't find a match for it because nobody plays the game mode. That amazing game mode. And I just got sick of it. I was just like, no. So that is how I feel about it. So, like, once again, like, for people who are just now coming in, I think State of Decay is an okay game. I don't like Undead Labs, though. State of Decay, a great idea. There's a reason why I played State of Decay 1 and State of Decay 2. The reason I played it is because it's a good idea. A game that simulates a apocalypse where the outbreak has already happened and now you just have to learn to live with the zombies. That's great. That's a great idea. A game where you have to build a community, convince people to, like, join you, and then deal with other enclaves, like a question of, like, how will you interact with other humans who are doing the same thing? That's a great idea. I think that's an awesome idea. I think it's great. It's just that the way, and even the game, although the game was very buggy at launch, the game conceptually is fine at launch. Like, there's nothing wrong with the concept of State of Decay. It's just that 5 years later, they have so little to show. When I compare what State of Decay has added compared to, say, Deep Rock Galactic, they haven't even been out for 5 years, but what Deep Rock Galactic has accomplished in their time and what MechWarrior has added within its time, it's night and day, the difference. Yes. And what Undead Labs says, well, we can't change things because there's too many systems that are tied together and they'll just get all tangled up. Well, why did you design the game that way? Well, then you shouldn't have designed the game that way. It's like, what it tells me is that you did not understand how to build the game in a modular manner. It's like, you built the game that way, though. Oh, that wasn't very nice of him. Or, like, Undead Labs has the attitude of, like, well, you know, the zombies are changing in State of Decay because, you know, the zombies evolve over time. No, they don't. Zombies don't exist. Zombies are video game characters. The zombies don't accidentally change their behavior. You program the game to make them different. The zombies aren't randomly changing their behavior. You are making them change their behavior. I'm hoping to get this last little bit of loot.
It's clear, but I can't really secure this place with a plague heart so close by.
I know someone's right around the corner. The voice is too loud.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
I'll
Yes?
sell the samples. We got plenty of
I think we
samples.
can
I'll
help
just
each
sell
other
the
out,
samples.
okay?
Yep, there's the zombie I heard. Man, I'll tell you one thing. One thing that helps you in State of Decay is having a headset. I do not recommend playing State of Decay unless you either A, have surround sound or a headset. You gotta have that. The audio in this game makes a big difference. Okay, let's drop this stuff off.
Soup.
Oh, materials
Take me too
forever.
long to get there.
Hold up now, we might have another one coming in, another wager coming in. So what other zombie games would I like to play for you guys? Because like I said, like, I don't want to abandon people. That's not my goal. It's true that I need to get past State of Decay. Like, that is a vital objective of mine. But I don't want to abandon people. Because I know, like, you know, robots don't necessarily translate over to zombies. I understand bugs are pretty cool. Like, Deep Rock is about shooting bugs. Bugs are cool, but some people want zombies. So I am going to make sure that there is always zombie content on this channel. Because, like, it's not my goal to abandon people. Now, I would like to play Dead Island again, and I might make it a community playthrough where you guys can join me. I'm also interested in playing The Infected. I'm interested in playing Project Zomboid. There are definitely other games that I'm interested in playing. The Last Stand Aftermath, great idea. Like I said, like, I am not going to just cancel zombie content on the channel. Like, yes, I am going to move away from State of Decay, but I'm not going to... I don't want to abandon people. Like, that's not my goal. No, absolutely not, Lord Gummy. That is the goal. What you've identified, that is the dream of every content creator. The dream of every content creator is to be the reason why people tune in. The reason why people tune in is for the creator, but most people do not do that. Most people tune in just for the specific game. There's nothing wrong with that either. Like, that is not a criticism of other people. As a content creator, my job is to serve other people. So I understand if they only want to see a particular game. But my goal is to convert people into fans. That's my objective as a content creator, is to convert people from being... Oh, I can throw these in. That is the ultimate dream of a content creator, though. Let me see. We might have a wager here. Oh, we do. We got another wager coming in. So this is the Unbound Enclave bonus. I can't spell. Okay, I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes to set a prediction. Remember, this is Monopoly money. This isn't real. Like, there is no real money gambling on this channel. Yeah, I have the... I am proud of what I've created. But it's going to be an uphill battle. That's why I said, like, going away from State of Decay will be like a 50% pay cut, maybe even more severe. Maybe I'm underestimating it. Maybe it'll be more like a 75% pay cut. But that's because, like I said, the vast majority of people are just here for State of Decay. That was, like, if you remember the story I told you about Brian, the frustration was that, and it's my frustration as well. It's just the fact is that it's very hard to convince people to watch other things because most people primarily watch content creators for the game rather than for the content creator. Now, it's the content creator's responsibility. I want to point out that it is the content creator's responsibility to convert people. That is my goal. But it is a very uphill battle, and I am bracing... I've already taken about a 50% pay cut, but I'm bracing for even more of a loss as I make the conversion. But like I said, there's no option. Like, I can't stay with State of Decay. Like, there's just no option. And there's no option because, one, State of Decay just isn't showing signs of growth. So, like, you just cannot build... It's not like Fortnite or anything even... Not even Fortnite. It's not even like Stardew Valley. Like, you could be a solo game Stardew Valley content creator, but this game is nothing at all like that. It's not growing. It's not becoming more popular. And it's actually been like that for 5 years. 5 years of State of Decay not growing in popularity is an indicator that something is wrong. Because... it means that the ideas that Undead Labs are coming up with do not resonate with people. They're not, like, wowing people. They're not knocking people's proverbial socks off. And that's the reason why. Whereas other games of a similar size that are also indie games, they actually have fewer advantages. Like, the people who make Deep Rock Galactic as Ghost Ship games, they're not owned by Microsoft, so they don't get to have a front page advertisement on the Xbox. They don't get, like, front page advertising, so they have to claw tooth and nail to get people to discover what Deep Rock Galactic even is. And so they have fewer advantages, but Deep Rock is now, in recent times, tripling State of Decay's player base for active concurrent players. On Steam, Deep Rock Galactic has about 11,000 people playing concurrently on average, while State of Decay has about 3,000. And originally, State of Decay was probably about 7 times more popular than Deep Rock Galactic. And it just shows you that good updates that people like, made consistently, will impress people. Here we go, though. Time to shut down the voting. Let's see what you guys voted for. So it looks like 54% of you think it'll be good, and 46% of you think it'll be bad. Well, that means whoever wins actually is going to get a chunk of money. Let's see. In 3, 2, 1.
Grazie. Stay alive, all right?
Hey there, take a load off, buddy.
Fuel efficiency bonus. Oh my god, we just got fuel caravans. That is insanely good. Good God. Team 1 won by a long shot here. Good gravy. Well done, Team 1, on the prediction there. Absolutely badass. What a great bonus we got there, right?
Hey, you're not dead.
Got anything useful?
Now make sure you use... Oh, look at this. Comfy chair. Now make sure you use those points for good. Use those points for helping Fox in 7 Days to Die. Don't use them to, like, summon a bunch of vultures to try and kill them. Casual Kirk says that might be the best possible result. There's a good argument for that. I would like to play, like, I would like to play Project Zomboid. It is on the list of games I want to play. Bernsta cheating with her future sight powers, looking into the future for what might drop. What a cheater.
Can't get much farther without someone leading us.
Anyways, like I said, today was the lightning streams, so that is going to be the end of today's show. Only got time for an hour for each game. We got one game left. That's going to be 7 Days to Die. And, yeah, I will play Sons of the Forest. I'm interested in Sons of the Forest. What'd you get? Sorry for for a more serious stream, but I just want to get people ready. I want people to know why there's going to be a shift in content, why I'm making some of the decisions I'm making, and also, like, that I'm not just concerned for me, I'm concerned for my viewers as well. I'm concerned for you guys. Like, I do want to entertain you guys. Like, I know a lot of you guys have faith in me to entertain you guys, and I don't, it's not my goal to leave people behind. It's not my goal to abandon people, which is why I want to make sure that there's always zombie content on the channel, regardless of when I move away from State of Decay 2. Like I said, for those who don't know, I've already stopped State of Decay content on my YouTube channel. I will, like I said, I will complete this playthrough, and I will upload the VODs to, what do you call it, the Get Good Fox VODs, but there is a good chance that this is the final playthrough for State of Decay. I've been thinking about it long and hard, and, you know, State of Decay was pretty good for me. Like, it grew the channel quite a bit, but State of Decay was always supposed to be a stepping stone. It was always supposed to be one game along the path to bigger games and becoming a bigger content creator, and unfortunately, Undead Labs has demonstrated that they don't know how to make State of Decay more popular. And as a result, because I don't want to be financially tied to Undead Labs based on their decision making, that is the decision I have to do. So I hope people will stay, and like I said, I will take suggestions. I understand that some of the games I play are not to everyone's interest. It is my goal also to like build like different audiences, to like get various people in. But like I said, I understand what made the channel grow in the first place was a zombie game, and as a result, I want to make sure that there is always a zombie game on the channel, because that's what grew even if it's not specifically State of Decay, I want to make sure that all of my fans of zombie games have a home on the channel somewhere, because like I said, it's not my goal to abandon people. It's not my goal to leave people behind. It's not my goal to like forget where I came from, and that is what I am planning to do. Yeah, it is my goal to have some variety as well. Like, I don't want to be tied down to a single game, because eventually, even if I get big on Deep Rock Galactic, even if I get big on MechWarrior, I may want to move on from there. I may move on to something after that as well. Like, I always want people to know that, like, I always want to move into something bigger, because that's the goal of a content creator. And, yeah. Anyways, yes, I might play Dead Island. I never played, you know what I never did? I never played Dead Island Riptide. And because I never played Dead Island Riptide, I am interested in doing the DLC for Dead Island Riptide. Anyways, we got one more game today, and that's going to be 7 Days to Die. So just give me a little bit of time to give me a brief recess before I switch games. And once again, as usual, remember, if you want to see any of the old episodes, just scroll down from the stream and you will see the VODs channel. The VODs channel is where all the old episodes are. Of course, I've got like 5 years of content on my primary YouTube channel. If you want to become part of my community, of course, you can join me on Discord. I do play with the community. I play Deep Rock. Many people I see in the chat, I have played with them in Deep Rock Galactic. I've played with them on MechWarrior 5. It doesn't matter if you're bad at the game. Remember, I will teach you how to improve. That has always been a theme of the channel. It's in the channel's slogan that you don't have to be good to get good. Like, if you're afraid to play with me because you're bad, I have literally been teaching people how to become good regardless of skill level for basically 5 years. So you can play. I will play the various games. It's not a big deal. But you can also find me on my social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. But yes, until next time, everybody, one more stream to go. 7 Days to Die. Give me a brief moment for recess. Follow me on Twitch so you know when I go live next. And of course, remember that you don't have to be good to get good.